I'm Angelo bets. I like to sports bet and I like to day trade. The reason why is because I press buttons on the screen, I make decisions, and I don't break my back in a warehouse, in a food restaurant, or working for someone else. I don't gotta ask to go to the restroom. I don't gotta ask for a paycheck to sign. I don't gotta do none of that bullshit. Seven, eight.
7 payouts so
Right
far.
now,
So
I'm at the 10K mark. Also, definitely been helping out my family a lot more with bills. I've been reinvesting, and I'm not worried about a car. I'm not worried about distractions. I'm not worried about none of that shit. But I barely like to spend money, bro. Or hey, maybe I could do 8 donations, plasma. I was donating plasma at one point, bro. I was hungry for this shit, bro. It got to the point where they told me like, bro, you can't donate no more. Like your heart's fucking up.
no, this. When was the last time you worked?
Bro, it's been like at least shit, like 4 months at least.
Explain who you are for the people that don't know who Angelo Betts is. What do you do? Explain your trading journey up to the point of right now, and then from there we're just gonna go wherever we
Yes,
flow.
sir. So first and foremost, I'd like to thank FBA Andre Diaz for this opportunity. Without him, I wouldn't be here. Guys, you got to pour into the resources that are in front of you. I'm Angelo Bets. I like to sports bet and I like to day trade. The reason why is because I press buttons on the screen, I make decisions, and I don't break my back in a warehouse, in a food restaurant, or working for someone else. I don't got to ask to go to the restroom. I don't got to ask for a paycheck to sign. I don't got to do none of that bullshit, all bull stuff. But anyway, thank you for watching, and let's get into it. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me. I struggled for a lot of years, and I'm finally seeing the peak of profitability, and I'm finding out more ways to expedite time. So, without further ado, let's get into this interview.
That's a fact. All right, so yeah, I mean that was a great introduction. I love it. I love it for the most part. But I just want to get into your trading journey because yeah, you sports bet, but for the people here, they're more than likely traders. They want to know about trading. We could talk into the sports bets, but let's get into trading, which is the foundation of everything. Because the trading, the probability mindset, everything that you've learned from trading has been able to help you with everything that you also do. So just get into your trading, like how you started trading to get to where you are right now, and you could just go in as depth as possible.
Yes, sir. I started trading with IML. I'm sure most of the people came from IML. I joined the meeting, said, damn, I don't want to pay 200 a month, but I want to
What
learn
year
how to
was this?
trade.
What year was this around?
2019.
2019.
Yes, February 22nd, I started. I went to a Vegas convention. I didn't have any money. I didn't even have food to eat. I didn't even have a place to stay. Um, so I just realized that if I got there, I would make it work. So I caught a ride with some people that were going, had an extra seat. I had to drive in order to buy my worth and earn my keep. So I did that because I didn't have no money. So I drove, and then I didn't even have a license. And then I was just like, if I'm gonna make it, I gotta make it happen on my own. Like no one was gonna help me, and the people that were gonna help me, I had to show them I was worthy. So after that experience, I realized that I could really change my life with trading, and I poured into it. I failed a lot. I blow my accounts. I go Uber driving, go door dashing, and then I put that money into trades, and then I blow them, make some, blow them, make some, blow them, uh, and it finally came together when I found a mentor. I didn't think I would be able to do it on my own because I wouldn't have consistency. So when I joined FBA, when I joined Andre Diaz, I poured into notes taking, and I
Nah,
would
yeah, he
show
was
up.
a heavy note taker. That's the one thing, Angela. He's the heavy note taker. I might not be able to read it, but he could read it, and that's the most important thing. Like, show them your notes. Like, just show them a little bit of your notes, just so they can get a little bit of an idea. Because he's a very diligent when it comes to writing down. I can honestly read it better. You writing so much is definitely helping and improving over time, for sure. You do anything long enough, you're gonna get better at it. Look at that, everywhere. And that just goes to show the type of work that you got to be able to put in because he knows that he has to get the information down to be able to remember because there's so much information when it comes to everything in life. You're gonna forget shit. So even if you write it down with your hands, if you have a video, if you got it saved on your computer, wherever it may be, you gotta have the information because the information, once applied, changes situations. But how
Facts.
long? So you've been trading since 2019. That's 6 years. So out of those 6 years, you said once you found a mentor, once you joined the team and everything. How long ago did you join the team? I don't know the exact date. I could probably check, but do you know?
Probably 2 years.
2 years. So yeah, he's been on the team for 2 years out of the six. And how was the first four? The first of two?
So the first four were very very stormy. Uh, I didn't see any success for some reason. I just didn't quit, bro. And I realized I was gonna have to make a change with some of my strategies and some of my mistakes I was making. I would do sales and save up a little bit of money and then blow it in the market. Save up a little bit of money, blow it in the market. Maybe make a little bit and then give it back. And I was like, damn, man, like fuck, like I'm gonna either figure this shit out or I'm gonna die trying, bro, straight up. And then one thing led to another. I got my first pail recently in July, and then $600 pail. Just wanted to see it in my hands. Just wanted to feel it, man. Bought some more accounts, poured into them. Had 3 accounts, and then right now I'm working towards 5 accounts. So it's all about steps, systems, and not being stressed.
Angelo, he's definitely one of the few. The way he trades specifically, he's definitely more aggressive, which is hence why, like you said, business expense. He tends to go through more challenges due to what he's risking, but when he does pass them, he's able to essentially. The ROI is there. When your wins are big enough, you don't gotta win every single trade, and that's the main thing people gotta understand. In his situation, he may not win every single trade, but when he does win, it's big enough to at least make sense of all the losses. So yeah, you gotta also have a strong mentality, but also keep in mind he does other things such as sports betting. So he already has that risk management in the back of his head all the time because that's the only thing that we have in our control, especially in a situation like this. When you're losing more than you win, it's always gonna feel. It's not gonna feel the best. But when you know the numbers, it's really just about being able to stay in the game and not do no dumb shit because you know once that win comes in, if you get another win, you're making it back. It's just a risk reward at the end of the day, and that's one of the benefiting things that, especially nowadays with prop firms, is very accessible. Especially with a lot of the prop firms now, you can pass them in a day, you can pass them in 2 days. So you got your first payout. Was that your first payout ever, like within trading?
Yeah, yeah, bro. It really
That's what I
was.
like to hear. So it took you a good amount of time, but then after actually understanding and getting the proper guidance for the most part, you started moving in the right direction. And even then, it wasn't immediately, because that's the thing people think. They think once, like, I'm going to be able to hold their hand. I can take you to water. I can't make you drink it. I can give you everything you need. It still comes down to you now using it, you getting experience with it, you showing up on a daily basis. We're live trading every single day, showing up every day, getting experience. That's something that you got to go through to then be like, okay, how can I make sure this doesn't happen next time? How can I make sure I keep winning more than I lose? How many payouts have you got total? You got the one that was your first payout.
Oh, for like 7, 7, 8.
7 payouts so
Right
far.
now,
So
I'm at the 10K mark.
that's what I like to
Uh,
hear. So that was in a pretty fast amount of time too, because that's what I also told you guys. With the way he trades, a lot is happening fast. Like he also may have blew 2 accounts, but also he blew those 2 accounts within the same time of being able to pass 5 accounts and get 7 payouts. So it's like there's also a lot going on, but it's also diversifying. You get what I'm saying? He's not
yeah,
just trading on one account. That's also one of the things I try to prioritize nowadays, trying to have a diversity when it comes to the accounts that I'm trading so that I can spread my eggs evenly. I don't got to take a trade here. I could take a trade here. It's just not having all your eggs in one basket.
so yeah, I do want to point something out. Your journey doesn't have to be 5 years like mine. I waited so long to find a mentor because I was just so egotistical for some reason, and I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out, bro. I've blown $500 in one trade. Let me just do this, man. And then I was like, yo, what is he doing that I'm not doing? One, he shows up at the same time every day. Two, he takes the same exact trades. Three, if he loses, he walks away. Like that was one of my biggest problems, not being able to walk away. But one thing I do want to say is it's a lot easier to duplicate systems now than it was back then. Lately, I've been realizing the importance of seeing someone else's success and just copying them, and then learning why after, because the wheel has already been invented, bro. You don't gotta reinvent it.
Like even with me, like I'm not. People always ask, "Am I self-made?" I'm not self-made. I'm the same person that from YouTube videos, from courses, was sitting there trying to learn from other people, trying to learn different things, and I took little different things from everywhere, from all the things that I've learned over time, and compounded it into who I am today. That the way I trade now wasn't the way I traded the entire time. I took things here and there. I have things that I trade with right now that I've been using my entire time trading. I have things that I trade with right now that I've only been trading with for like 2 years out of my 5.5 years of trading. And it just comes down to understanding adaptation is going to be key. No, you can't stay in the same place because especially in the environment in a game like trading in the markets, there's a lot of everything. You got to be able to learn how to adapt, and if you don't know how to adapt, you're going to get cooked in this game. And that's the most important thing. Being able to, like you said, take what's working, and then from what's working, make it adapt for yourself because everyone's going to be different. What might work for me might work because I may be more patient than you. So once you try to use it, you're going to go through all the things required to make you a patient version of yourself so that you can actually use the system, use the concept, and actually get a result from it.
So one thing I definitely want to talk about to the struggling traders out there, I was just there not too long ago in that same boat. You want to patch the holes in the boat, over trading, patch that hole, oversizing, patch that hole, not trading outside of your times, patch that hole, and eventually you'll start to be afloat. Like, oh shit, I'm starting to win, bro. Like, oh shit, like I'm getting it, I'm paddling. And Andre will do that for you, bro. If you can't hold a stop loss that he can, just size down a little bit, bro. Because I know that's one problem that stunts a lot of people's growth. Just size down a little bit. Use 5 micros instead of one contract. Um, so really, just find those holes to plug in, plug them.
Man, that's all it is. Like it comes back to like what I was saying with adaptation. Nothing is perfect. There's always going to be something that could be better. Your boat may not have holes, but it could be more stable. It could have a better propeller. It could be higher quality. Like there's always something that could be done to make it as, just in my opinion, I don't want to say indestructible, but as close as possible to indestructible. Nothing's going to be indestructible. You want it to be damn near as close as possible. And you want to try your best to make sure that you can have it as indestructible as possible without basically fucking sinking. You want to be able to make it as safe as possible, as much defense without doing too much to where you're just going to take yourself out the game. You got to be, but it just comes down to experience. You don't know what you don't know. And that's why trying different things, having a journal, trying different systems, learning from different people, but it all comes down to actually using it. Information is cool. Knowledge is cool, but it doesn't mean anything until you apply it. And then once you apply it, that's when you're going to be able to get the experience, which is going to be the main lessons that is able to mold you into the person you are. Like you said, it doesn't need to take you 5 years, but in your situation, everything that you went through had to happen for you to become the person that you are today to be able to have $10,000 in payouts. And also, I want you to talk about what you've done with the payouts because you're one of the people
So,
specifically that I know use it for other reasons. So I want you to explain to the people like what have you been doing with your payouts?
also definitely been helping out my family a lot more with bills. I've been reinvesting, and I'm not worried about a car. I'm not worried about distractions. I'm not worried about none of that shit. But I barely like to spend money, bro. And one thing I will say is my buffer or blown strategy has really propelled me, not only because of my I say my grit, but because of my logic in it. Uh, what I do is I take all the risk up front, and then I just focus on small winning days to take that payout, and I just rinse it and repeat it. So if I'm wrong fast. I'm not wasting a week, 2 weeks on a blown account. I'm either in it and I'm correct, or I'm in and I'm wrong, and I just do it again until I'm right. It's a probability game. So you asked me a question, but I want to actually pour into this. It's the buffer or blown strategy. You pass the combine in 2 days, risking 2160 because the limit is 2000, but you get a little bit of leeway. So 2160 divided by 1510 to cover the fees. You need $1,500 to pass in 1 day. So check it out. That is 70 point. Let me slow down so you understand. 70.2% probability. It's like flipping the coins 50-50. 2160 divided by 1510 is 70.2%. So not only do you have an edge on your side just off of risking the whole thing in 1 day, you also want to find a strong 4 hour trend that's continuing. And based off my win rate, I have about it's kind of insane, but it's like an 80% win rate. And if you do 70.2 backed by 80% and you flipping the coin, oh, you're gonna pass eventually, okay? So it might be minus $54 for a combine here, minus $54 for a combine, but boom, once you hit a 1K payout, boom, you can subtract that. It's still $800 profit, 900, 700. So you can make it in a week, bro. You can keep doing that. That's on one account. If you do that on 5 accounts, that's 3,500 in a week. Times four, 12,000. So you can kind of get creative, all right?
This is
Now,
a good example of just making the numbers make sense because a lot of people they'll probably have to rewind it because even me I'm gonna have to rewind it when I'm editing it, but it just comes down to making the numbers make sense because you've obviously done the math, you know the numbers off the top of your head, but to us the people that don't know the numbers, to us it's just a whole bunch of different things, but you have the math equations for what it is, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do because when I tell people they need structure, when they need a system, when they need a plan, that's exactly what it is. You're also aware of the potential drawdown of risking what you're risking on these combines. Now, I also want to ask, do you keep the same risk management that you use on the combines to pass them in a day or two? Do you use the same risk management on the funded account when it passes?
That's, that's a great question. So there's times when I will, and there's times when I won't. But the times when I will, I'm implementing that same mindset towards the first day of the express. So I'm either gonna blow that express on the first day, or I'm gonna have a nice buffer on that first day. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I realize my time is the most important. So I want to be wrong faster. I want to get to point B quick. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to say. And then I'm going to have to do that by either having the correct trade and building those two. Now it's 150, which is crazy. 150, 150, 150, 150. So that's do the math. 2,000. Let's just call it 2,000. 2,000 plus four 150 days is going to be 600. So 2,000 plus 600 is 2,600. And then you divide that by 50%, you can take $1,300 payout in 5 days. If that's consecutive, good for you, but you don't have to. It could be a little bit more pressure when you're trying to go 1 day, 2 days, 3 days of that. But I could do it because I'm okay with the pressure, but maybe you're starting out, probably want to take your time with that. Okay, go ahead.
Nah, that's good. I mean, like I said, he has the sports betting background, and I'm sure the people that sports bet will be able to understand his mindset behind kind of using both, because I understand it a little bit to the extent because I've also talked to him on a daily basis and can see it from that point of view. But I also look at it in terms of the sports betting side. He just is now doing it in something that he has a higher percent of winning, because in sports betting he has no control on whether it's going to do one thing or the other. At least when it comes to trading, everything is your control. You're taking trades that are in your control. You could be putting your trade in the best, most high probabilities situation possible, which is something you can't do in sports betting. But then it comes down to the risk management. Risk management is another thing we can control. Emotional control, we can control. We may not be able to control if we win or lose, but we can control if we do lose, walking away and not doing too many trades to then mess up our numbers, so that we can just come back tomorrow. And even if we lose again, we know that once that win does come around, the numbers will add up. So even with you may be paying $50 for an account, but when you get a $1,300 payout, you could do the math. Like you said, you might even be in profit $800-900 based off of what you spent to be able to get that account. Now, some people may not be comfortable with that, but like you said, you could do it with multiple accounts, and it just comes down to understanding what yourself. It always comes back to you. How are you going to be able to work, and does your system work for you? It may not work for everybody else, but it's the only system that he's been able to do to even get payouts. So you guys got to also remember
Right.
it that way.
And your numbers. If you're wrong and the numbers were there, hey, your emotions are not like out of whack. But if you're wrong and you're trading off a feeling, bro, you're gonna feel like dog water. You're not gonna want to be like, damn, I want to take a day off. I want to take a week off. No, but if you realize that, okay, that was a good loss, just do it again. You'll be okay the next time. And that's the game. The name of the game. You gotta stay in the game. Don't over leverage. Just follow the system. You'll be okay.
That's a fact.
Uh, I do want to bring one thing to light. I'm compounding profits, guys. Like, so once I have house money, it takes off the stress. So like I'll win a couple bets and then I'll go buy some combines. So that way it's house money, bro. I'm not even stressed. But if you're still working a job, just realize like, okay, I have $100 to $200 extra at the week after all my bills. I could probably buy two combines with that. All right, then let me make that work. Just go from there. Or hey, maybe I could do 8 donations plasma. I was donating plasma at one point, bro. I was hungry for this shit, and then I'll
Yeah,
put the
he's one of the
bro.
few people that have actually told me. He was like, "Go donate plasma, bro. You need money? Go donate." I'm like, "Yeah, you're a fiend." I'm like, "Yeah, hey, if you need it, there you go. There's always an option."
Bro, it got to the point where they told me like, bro, you can't donate no more. Like your heart's fucking up.
Nah,
Like,
once they tell you to stop, that's a crazy. That's like, all right, man. Something's gotta give. I'm trying too
yeah,
hard. I'm trying too
bro.
hard.
Bro, I was like thinking anyway, bro. I was like, I was walking in the store, the Nike store. I shouldn't even say this on camera, bro, but I would walk in the Nike store with some old dirty ass shoes, put some new ones on, walk out and sell them, bro, the same day. I was just trying to find a way, bro.
Hustle is everything. You gotta want it, and that's the one thing. Like I said earlier, I can bring a horse to water. I can't make him drink it. I can give you everything you need. It's up to you to make whatever. I can give you the sticks and all the material and the manual. You still gotta build it. It's like Amazon. You order something, you might have wanted it. Guess what? You might have to build that bitch. It ain't over yet. You thought you was getting a full package. Nah, you got now. You got to build it. And if you don't build it, it's gonna sit there in the box, and you're not gonna get what you want. It's like you got to do it and learn. Then you're trying to do it yourself. You're googling the manual. You YouTube. This shit ain't working. You're calling a friend. That was me. That was me building my computer. That was me building half of the damn house. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not over once you get the information. The information is cool, but once the information is applied, that's the most important thing. And that's what people got to take away from it. Like you may have not taken the risk management in terms of my risk management strategy, but you use the price action. You understand the concepts. You understand the you versus you aspect that is going to make you into the individual that's going to be capable of getting payouts. It's going to be capable of getting these payouts, paying for the bills, being able to do that, and being able to take money that you're making from sports betting into the trading, putting money from trading into sport, vice versa. But it's working. And I would also ask, because before we hop off, I want them to know this. When was the last time you worked?
Bro, it's been like at least shit, like 4 months at least, bro.
4 months. So 4 months,
At
100%
least.
just unemployed.
Yeah, I do
I would
little
say
gigs,
unemployed, but
bro.
you work. I mean, but it's just not a job. It's not a 9 to 5. It's
Nah,
freedom,
hell no.
freelance. Any
Nah.
work now is freelance.
Hey, I'll share a story with you before we get off out of here, bro. They was telling me like what to do one day, and like I had my payouts ready, bro. So I was just like feeling some type of way. I was like, I don't really care, bro. I'm gonna quit anyway soon. They're like, take off your beanie. You're not supposed to have that on. And I just left it on, and then like just it was just cool, bro. Like I was a little like immature, but looking back, it just gave me the freedom to say I'm out. But that's cool, man. You gotta have that end in mind also. Like it's not gonna happen in 24 hours. It's not gonna happen maybe in 24 days. But as long as you show up, you take notes, you learn from your mistakes. Bro. If you don't journal, don't call yourself a day trader. Journal your trades. Listen to what you did wrong. Try not to touch the stove 20 to 30 times, even though it might take that long. And then rinse and repeat, bro. It's literally like a math equation. Like it's nothing emotional, bro. Like once you realize that, you're okay with it, bro. You're okay with the big picture. But thanks for having me on, bro. It's been a
Now,
pleasure.
always, it was only a matter of time. For the people that don't know who Angelo is, now you do. Now you know.
Yeah, yeah. And where can you find more of me? Great question. Bet with Angelo. I give out free plays. I'm a funny dude, and I like to keep the G. Well, other than that, man, thanks to Andre for having me on.
Now, always,